We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Suckerpunch, it is the fiery heat of 3 pepper pickle spears. 11 spice blend, gourmet. It's gourmet. All right, so anyway, whole lot of stuff here, but this is what interested me when I was looking at stuff on the grocery store shelf. One of the peppers is habanero, and of course, that seemed a lot like something that I should do, so I got this, and then it promptly sat on my shelf for a while. And you can read more in the blog, available in the description down below, of the details of why that was the case. You can check in the Q4 2022 update. Actually, you could even check the Q4 2021 update because not a lot has changed as far as rationale. But we are getting to it now. And these, of course, are available pretty much any grocery store that carries Suckerpunch. So they're definitely out there. So we've got cucumbers, water, pure cane sugar, white distilled vinegar, spice, jalapeno peppers, salt, garlic, crushed red pepper, habanero, pepper arbol, and calcium chloride. So, interestingly, the crushed red peppers, that could be one of those 3, or it could be simply cayenne. You can see there is a lot of stuff here. So we're gonna shake up the pickles. We got what looks like a pepper down there. That might be a habanero. I'm excited to find out. These have maybe some potential. All right, so we've got a coconut here. This is probably an arbol. That other one could be, oh boy, these smell good too. Let's get a whiff of these here. It smells almost like bread and butter pickles, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm not a fan of sweet pickles particularly at all. So this could be a huge bust for me on a pickle level, but let's drag one out. Have us a little look-see at it. So they're all about this size, it looks like. Let's grab another one. Here, this one's a little bit bigger. We'll start with the smaller one first. Well, they're sweet-ish. My preference is to dill pickles to kosher pickles. These are interesting because they're not particularly sweet. They are a little bit. They kind of bridge between sort of that bread and butter pickle, sweet pickle. They're not as sweet as sweet pickles. So maybe a bread and butter pickle towards, I guess, more like a dill. Let's try this chili. This is the, let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, this one, this red arbol. I could eat a bunch of those just pickled. There's a little tongue tingling here. I put it about where, so I've had a lot of homemade pickles where they've been jalapenos in there. This is about where I would put that. A little tingly, but nothing too major. These aren't super crispy. The texture is a lot actually like homemade pickles as well, you know, where you kind of get that. You can see it's a little bit of classy sog to it here. I quite like these though. Flavor-wise, they're really good. And it's not forward, and I'm not going to eat this whole thing, I don't think. It's not forward enough flavor that it's, you know, you get tired of it. It's kind of like, so we got a nice balance here between chili pepper. We got a little bit of a punch from the habanero. So like I said, for me, probably a default one. We're going to see if we can build to an actual legit one, though. That'll be exciting if we can. But a little bit of sweetness and that dill pepper flavor. So it just really, it's a fascinating combination of all three flavors. And they're all quite notable. Very discernible. I like what they've done here. This is really impressive. I don't like the texture of these though. They're a bit on the chewy side. Flavor is excellent. So where's that? I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm sure I got a fork. I don't know if I'll be able to dig out that habanero. Quite good. This particular one is about where I'd expect peppers to be. Texture, crunch wise. Okay, well, so you can see I've eaten. Can you see that? Can you see it without me dumping it everywhere? I've eaten not quite half of this. Pretty close to half. I mean, I can't say that it's getting where I would call it. Oddly enough, it's kind of between a default one and a legit one. Certainly some bites are hotter than others. You know, I'll give a legit one. I'll give it the push. I'll give it the bump. It deserves a legit one. These are excellent. I gotta save some of these. So I want to try to do me up an egg salad maybe in here somewhere. A tuna salad, I want to do that. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about these. From a flavor perspective, excellent. They are outstanding. Are they going to replace it for me with the dill or the kosher pickles? Realistically, probably not. But I really, really like these. Like I would happily get these anytime. I don't know how they're going to work in the egg salad. I don't know how they're going to work in the tuna fish. I'm really, really curious to find out. The fact that they're in spears makes them a great accompaniment, I think, for like sub sandwiches. Obviously, you're going to have to cut them if you want them on burgers, but I suppose there's worse things that could happen. I mean, they would go really well with hot dogs. Mustard dog would be really... If you got one of the spicy mustards I've done on this channel, one of the spicy yellow mustards, with this pickle and made yourself a nice little spicy mustard dog, that would be... I think that would be outstanding. That'd be really, really, really good. I mean, the flavor is great on these. A legit one, for me, is a very respectable heat level. I think for something you can get off a grocery store shelf. There are not a lot of products generally that make it to that level that are not hot sauces, I guess. So for something like that, something like this to just kind of, and it's kind of out of the blue. And I think this could be a gateway, I think, for a lot of people that like spicy stuff. And they get a little bit comfortable with, the mouth heat, because this has a really, really nice build. I mean, it's tapered off quite a bit now, but it's an excellent, excellent flavor, so that it naturally sort of lends itself to eating more of it. And then, of course, the more you eat, the better it builds, because it's, the habanero presence in there. Great use of them. I think the flavor, as far as the peppers, is kind of general. The arbol and the habanero don't contribute a lot to the flavor. Neither does the jalapeno necessarily, but you get a really nice sort of vague chili heat, chili flavor, which I think is, maybe where the arbols really kind of help things out. They're a great tasting pepper, and I think their flavor is sort of dampening down some of the habanero aspects, because habanero I don't really find to be a particularly great flavored pepper. But the other spices in there, it goes a little bit towards bread and butter, a little bit towards sweet, but not enough, not too much. Just a nice little grace note, like you kind of can get a sense of it, I guess, but it's not an actual presence, if that makes sense. It is definitely more towards a dill or a kosher style flavoring system, which I think is great. So fantastic. Like I said, that's a pretty respectable heat level for something off the shelf, and I can't say enough how impressed I am by these, and I wasn't expecting that. Definitely, one of the kind of the issues I run into is a lot. Sometimes I'll get products with the intent of doing videos on them later, and then when I have them like this one, I'll kind of kick myself because I could have been enjoying them for far longer, but I waited, to do the video. So don't make that mistake. And they do have sample packs, by the way. I've seen those out there of just chips, which I think is a really, really smart move on their part. If you're not sure, get the chips, but I'm telling you, if you like pickles in particular, these are outstanding. And we'll just leave it there. So there it is, the Suckerpunch 3-pepper pickle spears. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.